It is so good to be back here and to see you again, and to share the Scripture and Eucharist with you. Today we celebrate the feast of the body and blood of Christ, and we hear in the readings today about God's faithfulness and how Jesus gives us a new bread, this meal, so that together we may come to know Jesus. But what is this feast of the body and blood of Christ about? What does the body and blood of Christ mean for us individually? What does it mean for us as church? It means that Jesus comes to us through the body and blood, through his body and blood, through this bread and wine, to give us life, to give us strength, to give us hope. And we are in awe and wonder about this wonderful gift. It also means that we are united to one another, that we are strangers and foreigners no more. And that has to be especially emphasized, especially in our culture of individualism, that the Eucharist not only unites us with Christ, but with every other person as well. In this Eucharist, we are fed by Christ. Our going forth, we must feed others. So our meal makes us one. Our service is for all. And the challenge is to be what we eat and drink. So in other words, just as we have been fed by Christ, we too need to feed those who are hungry. And there are so many people who are hungry. People who are hungry for bread, hungry for understanding, forgiveness, for God, for hope. Millions of people are struggling desperately to live human lives, struggling even to live. And talk about following Jesus can sound rather empty unless there is a giving of ourselves, unless we become the body and blood of Christ for others to feed their hungers. And the readings today really provide a wonderful introduction as to why I'm with you this weekend, and that is to once again speak about Cross International Catholic Outreach, a 501c3 nonprofit organization that seeks to feed the hungers of the poorest of the poor. We are now helping in more than 22 countries. And basically what we do is we work with the local clergy of those countries because they are the ones who know the needs of the peoples of the towns and villages best. They know what is needed to help bring the people out of poverty and provide for more than just day-to-day necessities. What I'd like to do today is to speak a little bit about things that I have learned from being on the road. I do this every weekend, and so many people come to me to tell me about Cross. They really do. I speak about, quite often, two boys in Haiti, Theodore and Francois. And the story I tell is that they often eat dirt cookies, so at least they could have something in their stomach. And people have asked me, is that true? Yes, it is true. And someone told me that if you Google the words Haiti kids eat dirt, you will find articles about this, and you will even find a YouTube video showing you how they make these clay cookies. In response to that, Cross provides for children through feeding programs in schools and orphanages. It's a ministry of feeding those who are literally starving, clothing people who are really naked, sheltering those who are truly homeless, and giving a drink of water to people who are very thirsty. In my travels, a woman came to me and she said, during the week, I met with Father Mario Esposito, and he told me about the work that Cross helped them. He's a Capuchin father, and the work that you're doing in Vietnam. And it was very helpful to them because they work with the Franciscan Missionaries of Mary, and they have a place for, right now, 43 young girls from the poor areas of Vietnam. And they take them in to provide housing, food, and education in order to break a cycle of poverty. See, what usually happens is that those girls are susceptible to people posing as businessmen who come in offering them lucrative jobs. And then when they take the bait, they find that their life is tied to prostitution. And the only way to break that cycle is to provide help, assistance, and education to the girls. And so Mario was telling her about the wonderful things that we do and how he was encouraged. And she looked at me and she said, "It looks as though you know Mario." And I said, "Yeah, I know him from high school." And then very proudly she said, "He's my brother." I was at another parish, and there was a missionary on vacation in the United States. He works in Ecuador in a town called San Lorenzo. And he was saying that Cross is assisting with projects there to set up a clean water tank and sanitary facilities for chicos de la calle, for the children, to provide good sanitary conditions for the people in that town. And in Zambia, as we do in many other parts of the world, we continue to build simple homes for people: a concrete slab, cinder block walls, and a zinc roof. No running water, no plumbing, no electricity, but just a place to house the families safely at night and keep them out of the inclement weather. We're able to do all this because we receive many donations of food, clothing, construction supplies, medicines, high-tech medical equipment, and all those donations are of tremendous value because our only cost is in transporting that to the poor. And that's where you come in. That for every dollar donated, we can provide many more times that worth of life-saving, life-enhancing aid to the poorest of the poor. So, for example, the last time I was here was the weekend directly following the earthquake in Haiti, if you remember that. And we were able to set up emergency centers right away because we've been down in Haiti for more than 9 years. But in addition to that, and this is where your contributions from that weekend come into play, we sent down 5 shipments of donated goods. Each shipment contained $1.2 million of donated soybean, electrolyte drink, tops, blankets, diapers, medicines. Each shipment cost us $8,000 to ship. So instead of giving the church in Haiti $8,000, they could do very little for their people with that type of money. We were able to multiply the effectiveness of those funds and help them with $1.2 million of very much needed resources. In fact, the donations from St. Francis at that time helped us to deliver $6 million of aid to the people in Haiti. And so I want to thank you for that very, very much. The last image I have is our brochures. You're going to find them at the ends of the pews. So if anyone's at the end, if you could take one, please, and pass them over to the other people. I'm going to ask our good altar servers, Debbie and Alexander and Josh, just to walk through the church. And if you still need a brochure, because there's so many people here, if you still need a brochure when they pass by, give them, just raise your hand and they'll give you one. Okay, so let's go, guys. So I'd like to walk you through this